Hello guys, welcome to the expert playthrough of the Silver State tournament. Here in the first hole, I played with Epoch 6 and a Titan, and my approach was to clear the rough and the sand and reach the second fairway for the eagle. And it's possible with a Titan plus Epoch 5 or above level if you got a slight tailwind. You have to observe the wind angle first. Here in the shot you
Great
can
shot!
see 8.8 wind is slightly tailwind. That helps. And the first shot is 10% downhill, so you have to adjust 10% extra here. And in my second approach, I approached it with extra mile 8 and a Titan ball. Then I changed my ball and approached it with jerk. I think I tried to land in the middle of the small fairway there and hopefully hope for a good bounce to clear the rough and the sand. But in this case, I ended up in the
Great
sand
shot!
miserably. But you can take Malibu in your bag. Short sandwich.
Perfect shot! Eagle!
And here on hole 2, I rub bumped it and it's 40% downhill. So we're in mid distance of sniper. I used not full 4 top spin, a smidge less, and all left spin possible, and adjusted it about 11 rings here, and 75% ball outside the car, outside the ring, and
Perfect
it's
shot!
perfect, and I came short.
Nice
I
on!
think my is right, but I came up short. And for the second approach here, I used 4 bar top and all left spin possible, and in this case of 9.1 wind, I approximately adjusted about 12 rings. And I take my shot, but here I curled it much to the left.
Perfect shot!
H-Mitch of curl-less it will win.
Nice on!
And here in the hole 3, the wind angle is slightly crosswind, is straight crosswind, or sometimes slightly tailwind, or sometimes slightly headwind here. So doesn't matter if you have an M8 or F5 or higher levels clubs. You don't have to overpower it. Just try to stay in the middle of the
Great
fairway.
shot.
There. First shot here, 10% extra. But I hit it great accidentally in left and ended up in the rough. But with Kingmaker and my Nirvana is 6 in this account, I easily reach to the pin. So if you ended up in the rough, no worries there. But if we stayed in the fairway
Great shot.
here, I think we will get a sniper mid or mid range.
Nice on.
And here is the second approach of hole 3.
Perfect shot.
Here is both shots are 10% extra here. And I adjusted for the sniper shot here for the mean range. That leaves me for 8.5 wind. Approximately 7.17 inch. I adjusted. Let's see. I adjusted for the mid range, and I pulled back half a ring for the tailwind effect, but I think
Great
I
shot.
hit it great to the right. I think the pulling back of half ring
Nice
not
on.
necessary here. And here uh, again a sniper bump. Here all far trees of the Millionaire course are rub bumpable. And here three were back, one right, and adjust it 8.8 ring here for 8.3 wind. But I think it's
Perfect
hit it
shot.
perfect there, but I missed it to the left.
Nice on.
So I think we should go for 8.9 rings or 9ish rings for the ball to go in the hole. And here I got 8.6 wind. Same approach, slightly less than 3 bar back, then adjusted 9.1 ring. But
Great
hit it
shot.
great accidentally to the right, and missed right.
Nice on.
And here in hole 4, I will show you two setup. In the first approach, I choose extremal 8 to lay up in the right to get an angle for the straight tailwind for the second thorn shot. And first shot is 10% downhill, and not use more than 3.5 bar of top spin, because it
Great
may
shot.
end up in the bunker to the right side. Here it laid up nicely. Then for the second shot is 20% extra. I think I'm in between min and mid range of the thorn, and I used one back, one smidge back, and align the shot to the pin. Then adjusted 3 rings there, 3 and a smidge more rings there, and hit it perfect.
Perfect shot. Eagle.
It went in. And here for the second approach, I used Big Dropper level 5 and Kingmaker. I wanted to test this theory if I can clear the rough with the Big Dropper spin here. And this shot is also 10% downhill, and but this shot is risky, too much risky, cause the accuracy of the Big Dropper is so low. And adjustment. And if you use number 5, you don't need full overpower. You
Perfect
need
shot.
a smidge less of full overpower. I mean 90% overpower of the club, and it clears the rough so nicely. But I think it's not consistent, cause I tried the shot in another account and I stuck in the rough. And if you have Thor 6 or more, then you can try this approach, cause Thor 6 and 7 is a club of more accuracy,
Perfect shot.
far better accuracy.
Eagle.
Now for the hole number 6. Hole number 6, I used this approach to lay up in the middle part of the course. There is a small fairway. For this approach, you need at least 6 top spin to bump it to the fairway, middle of the fairway, and adjusted mid range of my driver plus 10% extra, and
Perfect shot.
90% ball outside the ring curl, and it ended up nicely. 346 years. And then for the second shot, I tried sniper bump. I think my sniper is in the mid range, and here is no elevation required. And I used one backspin straight to the pin and adjusted maybe 6.5 rings. But I hit
Great
it
shot.
right.
Nice on.
And for the second approach, I used EM8 with Kingmaker. The same approach.
Great shot.
He did great accidentally to the right and almost ended up in the right, but I was lucky. Then for the second shot, my approach was the same, but I'm in the mid range of the sniper, level 9, and I used much less than one bar backspin straight to the pin and adjusted 7.4 rings. I adjusted in between mid and mid range. And
Great shot.
To the left. And missed it to the left.
Nice on.
Okay, then hole 7. Again, Arab bump approach. Here with sniper. And 5 bar back. No side spin. Aim straight to the pin. I aimed straight to the pin and adjusted 1 to 1. And hit
Perfect
it perfect.
shot.
And just missed right. So I suggest
Nice on.
to let your ball guide just left to the pin, then adjust 1 to 1 and then hit it perfect. Here for the second approach, I use the same approach, but it's more of a straight crosswind to the right, no tailwind there.
Great shot.
And
Nice
to
on.
the left. So here for the whole gate approach, I am using the left side to lay up, and here I use here I used almost 6.5 bars top spin, which is not needed, and adjust to 10% downhill. So I will suggest you to use 6 bar top, and in case of a 5 bar
Great
more,
shot.
and just try to rub bump it and lay up in the fairway, because if you bounce if your second bounce was about the second fairway, then the ball won't stop. It will roll. It will roll and end up in the rough. And for the second shot, I was in mid-range of my thorn. I adjusted in case of 8 wind. Three rings maybe. And it
Perfect
is
shot.
perfect. And
Eagle.
it went in the hole nicely. And here is the last hole of the tournament. Hole 9, which is a par 5. Actually, it's a par. It should be a par 6. But we got a tailwind here, huge tailwind. I approached it with epoch 6 and a jerk with full top to 3 or 4 right spin and full blast. Try to hit it perfect, but
Great
slightly
shot.
great to the right, and the slightly great to the right cost me this. I ended up in the rough, but the drive is pretty long. And for the second approach, I used extra mile 8 with a Zark, and the wind was 10.4, and it's possible with an extra mile 8 and Zark with 10.4 wind, it's possible to reach the second fairway without question.
Great shot.
But here I forgot to take my guardian in my bag, so I was ended up here for my first approach shot with epoch 6. I ended up in the rough. From there I can reach with my Nirvana 8 to the small fairway before the pin and the sand, and from there I can approach with my rapier or endbringer to hold out, to approach directly to the pin with backspin, 2 or more backspin
Perfect shot.
maybe. Here the first shot is 10% downhill, and second shot, for the second shot or third shot there is no elevation. And my approach is that look at the landing spot here for the wedge shot. Just before the fairway there is a fringe. I aimed on that with backspin and adjusted accordingly according to the percentage of the club. I think I am 40% of my rapier, 40% distance of my rapier, and I adjusted approximately about 4 rings maybe, and take my shot. Hit it
Perfect shot.
and it went in.
Eagle.
And here, where I forgot to take my guardian in my bag, I tried with top spin and the double bounce approach, which our very famous Jan Ballinger tried and succeeded. But I adjusted here in case of 10.8 rings, approximately 12 rings, and take the shot.
Perfect shot.
And ended up in the sand.